Welcome. um, this week has been a very interesting week, and I'm sure you'll be very interested to hear all about it. Cue intro music. This week started off with a solid alliance of 5, which made Nathan King very scared. Fortunately for Nathan King, he did win immunity in a very impressive display of his memorable abilities at the immunity challenge. So he has nothing to worry about for himself. However, what everybody's thinking about this week is the long term. I think the first couple weeks of the merge, people are thinking long term. People are thinking, what alliances do we have? Who do we vote out now so that things are easier later? So last week that was Helen. Helen was a threat. This week, it's Jenna. And this time, I think Nathan King was the first to say it. He knew that his plan. He had been with Helen. So as soon as Helen was voted out, he knew there was an alliance against his alliance. So he got understandably scared. And there's sort of the immunity challenge night feel, where right after the challenge, you see what people are kind of feeling. And he definitely was feeling that the girls were a threat and the guys needed to stick together and take them out. So, as somebody who's in an alliance with all 3 girls now, I agreed, naturally. So Jenna, Garrett, and I, JPEG, have been working together. Things are going splendidly. We had our weekly meeting in the chapel loft, our secretive plotting place, and everything was perfect. We all said we're going to vote for Paul. He's the only option. Jonathan has immunity. Nathan has immunity. Jonathan has an idol. We'll have Sarah and Nicole's votes. The only person left is Paul. So we will all vote. We'll split our votes between Jonathan and Paul. So it's perfect, except that, of course, Garrett and I are working with Paul, and we're lying to Jenna the whole time. So much that it felt like I was lying to myself. I almost started to forget. We planned a meeting at 5. We got together in a practice room in Parmer. We split the votes, and it was important that either Garrett or I be one of the ones voting for Paul, because the next person I talked to after the first meeting of 3 was Nathan King, right? So Nathan King, I said, look, Jenna is in the center of this alliance of 5. If we don't vote her out now, we're never going to have another chance, because she's close with Nicole. She's got a good alliance of 3 with Sarah. She's got an alliance of 5 with me and Garrett. If she stays in one more round, she'll have an alliance of 5 out of 7, and we can't let that happen. So I told Nathan King that Garrett and I would try to make sure one of us had to vote for Paul, which we would then turn on Jenna. And then Nathan and Paul, of course, because they're voting for him, would vote for Jenna. Nathan would vote for Jenna. And that way we'd have votes on Jonathan and on Jenna. And kind of just ignore Jonathan the whole week, because honestly, I don't think anyone's ever... Some people can tell when he's lying. I'd like to think I can. But you have no idea what the truth is. So, moving forward from there, I played a game of pool with Nathan King. He beat me at pool. I beat him at Survivor. I'd like to think I was sort of in the driver's seat. He talked about half an hour about not having an idol, kind of for no reason. The reason being that he does have an idol. After that, we had a meeting of 5. Like I said, the practice room, Parmer, Permanent 5. Permanent 5. That's the name I'd like to think of for this fake alliance. As a politics major, like international relations, the Permanent 5 on the Security Council. But it's not really permanent since we're voting out Jenna this week. So we were sitting in a circle. I said, all right, I'll vote Jonathan, you vote Paul. You vote Jonathan, you vote Paul. You vote Jonathan. And so, of course, Garrett got the Paul vote, which was not accidental. So now the plan was that Garrett, Paul, Nathan would all vote for Jenna. Me, Nicole, Sarah would all vote for Jonathan. Jenna would vote for Paul. And of course, Jonathan has a vote. That way, either Jonathan plays the idol, Jenna goes home, or he doesn't play the idol, we all vote for him in the end. Today, I saw Garrett and Paul, who are my very close friends. We played a game together. I keep this all secret because I need people to think that we aren't a strong alliance. Helen was in a strong alliance, she got voted out. Jenna is in a strong alliance, she's getting voted out. None of the alliances have been as strong as me, Paul, and Garrett, but we keep ours as secret as possible. They pretend to hate each other, I pretend I don't know them, and so far we've been safe. Helen got voted out because she knew that Paul and Garrett were really working together. That's one of the many reasons. She kind of knew too much. So today I was with Garrett and Paul, and they tell me that they are worried that Jenna is, of course, lying, because we know she's going to stab us in the back. The question is when. So if it's this week, we're screwed if we don't vote her out. But we are planning to vote her out. If she gets Jonathan's vote, though, and she switches Nicole and Sarah's vote, then she has 4 votes on Paul, so I need to vote for Jenna to counteract that. And for some reason, I really don't want to. Don't know why. Last time, I stuck with the plan. I just don't like plans that change at the last minute, and I really want the idol gone. We've been dealing with this for 3-4 weeks now, and it's becoming a pain. So I wanted to vote for Jonathan, but I realized that either Jonathan goes home, and Jenna's left with her alliance, which is actually worse. So we need to get rid of the idol, but not Jonathan. And theoretically, my vote should have no bearing on whether he plays the idol or not, because he won't know what I'm thinking. The problem is that certain people at Tribal Council can't be quiet. So what I did, and this is probably the stupidest thing I've done, but I think it will work, is I told Garrett and Paul that they have no control over me, I'm voting Jonathan. And so there's nothing they can do because they have to vote Jenna anyways, but secretly I'm going to vote with them, just like they want. And this way, they're unaware of that. Hopefully they will think Jonathan is getting voted out, and that will translate into how they act at Tribal Council. Jonathan will think he's getting voted out. Jonathan will play his idol, and I won't vote for him. And probably neither will anybody else, honestly. Although, I'd like to think that Sarah Nicole would. I'd like to think I could trust Sarah. Not that I need to. I think it's weird because I trust Garrett and Paul. Okay, well, I was going to say 100%. Let's say 100%. Say I trust them 100%. Until the top 3 or 2. Like, I still don't trust them to be good at keeping secrets at Tribal Council, and so I lied to my closest allies, and I don't know how that will play out. It's gonna stink if Jonathan doesn't play the idol, though. That's really gonna stink.